Hi, everybody, and welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terence. The week begins on Monday, June the 19th, 2023. As I said in last week's video, the new moon that starts a new monthly cycle or a new focus of your attention was on Saturday, the 17th. So now it's the Monday, the 19th, and now the energy is wanting to move forwards to direct us to new goals, new attention. Well, this gets even stronger because the sun is changing signs and going into Cancer, starting another new monthly cycle on Wednesday. But that sun going into Cancer, if you are living in the north of the equator, is called the summer solstice. If you are in Australia or in South Africa, that is the first day of winter. Now, let's start with Monday, the 19th. This is a really important day, but it's really the peak of what's been unfolding for a week or so, maybe a couple of weeks, but better now with the new moon on Saturday and the sun going into Cancer on Wednesday, where Jupiter, prosperous, expansive Jupiter, in Taurus now, once every 12 years. Taurus is more materially oriented. So Jupiter in Taurus can have a lot to do with economics and finance. The Jupiter peaking on Monday will be in harmony, called the sextile, to pragmatic business Saturn. Now, it peaks on Monday, as I keep saying, but pretty much the whole month. But I would think more this last half of June is you're getting the best results. This brings economic growth, stability, good for all kinds of new business projects. On an emotional level, you're just feeling more confident and grounded with career, with your sense of security. So that's really great energy to be starting off this week. On Tuesday, the moon is in emotional, nurturing Cancer. And by mid-morning Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with idealistic, visionary, charitable Neptune. It can be really inspiring this like selfless, charitable energies. By 3:04 p.m. Pacific time, the moon leaves Cancer and goes into Leo. Big shift of energy. The moon sets the public tone. Cancer's more reflective, more nurturing, more wanting to just stay closer to home and family. When the moon goes into Leo once a month, Leo is romance, it's parties, it's vacations. Leo really it's extroverted, fiery energies. And that begins, as I said, about 3 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesday, lasting for 2.5 days. So now we get to Wednesday, the 21st, and the sun moves into Cancer. Technically, that's at 7:58 a.m. Pacific time, called the summer solstice, starting a whole new peak, a whole new energy for this, and especially with that Jupiter-Saturn, could be bringing a lot more prosperity overall for most of us. Now, the moon continues in extroverted Leo, but in the evening, 7, 8, 9 p.m., but Pacific time, the moon will be in harmony with Venus. Moon Venus can be very creative energy, romantic energy, loving energies. So that is in that late evening Pacific time. Thursday, the 22nd, the moon, still in fiery, extroverted Leo, will be in a hard angle of tension to unpredictable, sometimes rebellious Uranus. Now, that could bring in some unexpected emotional upsets. It could also trigger some really emotional surprises. Can be favorable, actually, for, shaking things up and getting out of old stuck routines. The moon, however, will be going void of course, 10:01 a.m. Pacific time, all the rest of the day into Friday, the 23rd, to 3:35 a.m. So Thursday, early Friday, for most of you, the moon will be void of course. When the moon is no longer making aspects to other planets, so the energy is flat. It's unproductive. You don't want to start any important new projects, make any kind of commitments, because with that unproductive energy, it's very difficult to follow through. On Friday, the 23rd, the moon enters into Virgo at that 3:35 a.m. Pacific time. It's going to be in harmony with the sun in Cancer. Cancer's a water sign, Virgo's an earth sign. So that brings a bit of harmony. But the moon, remember the Jupiter-Saturn in harmony peaking on Monday, but you're feeling it really strong, especially with a lot of progressive movement for productivity this last half of July. So the moon in Virgo is going to be by early evening Pacific time in harmony with Jupiter and Saturn. So that where we're feeling that groundedness, that confidence, security, we're feeling it more personally, emotionally, because it's connecting to the moon. Saturday, all day, the moon's in Virgo. Virgo is more service-oriented, work-oriented. With the moon in Virgo and there's no other planetary events, this could actually be a good day for getting a lot of chores done, and wrapping up and getting your work tasks done. But also that being of service and charity, volunteering for those in need. That's all that quality of Virgo. And on Sunday, communication discerning Mercury will be in a challenging aspect to Neptune. Neptune is this nebulous energy, foggy energy. So our mind's Mercury could be feeling out of focus, being distracted. You might be jumping to conclusions, assumptions, misunderstandings with that Mercury-Neptune. But like I always like to teach, is that's when you're more unconscious and you're just being swept away by the planetary energies. If you consciously direct it, so the Mercury, you could be interested in focusing on Neptune energies. Neptune can be music, spirituality, charity, compassion. So if you're finding yourself feeling off, feeling unfocused, if you get out of that and maybe focus on helping those less fortunate, or also music. Neptune also rules music. So if you're feeling really fuzzy, not, out of focus, just stop and just calm yourself down and listen to music you really like. And also could be really favorable for meditation to also help focus your mind. I want to thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, be safe and well.